welcome along. And again, we are continuing with field adjustments. Should be the last day, but we might have to do some in January as well. Anyway, just bear with me a moment while I set up my YouTube. I'm sure there's a better way of doing this, but not being particularly computer literate, this is where we're at. So we're in the Fent 942 at the moment. Once he's done with this field, we will move across the road and sort out the fields I want to do there. I think we possibly will need the T-Rex for that. Anyway, I hope everyone's having a good Easter weekend. To headlands. Nice. So we'll get the stone pickers going in a second. Really need the stones. I'm not even sure if we've got enough lime to do this field. So we will actually stone pick first. I might send the fertiliser out quickly as he's quite quick with 42 metre spread. No reason why I can't do that now, actually. Hey Klaus, good evening to you, sir. How are you? I think the fertiliser spreader's parked back up where he lives. Yeah, here he is. He's topping up. Hope you're well, Klaus. he'll probably need a refill. I might even buy a tank to put on the front, or a different machine, but this has served me so well. Yeah, I think so, Klaus. Getting there. Cheers for asking, man. So yeah, the field's a mishmash of lots of join fields, so this will this will do weird things. Anyway, we'll hop back into the plough for now. We're going to put corn on this field, hopefully for a chaff harvest, which could be an absolute disaster. We'll see how it goes. I definitely need another shed. We're going to need... okay, we need to... back this up. We need to be on create fields. Hang on. If I go string assist, 2 headlands, that will work. Put it on create fields. Lower. And if I drive it myself. The trouble is where I've painted some grass in around the edges, some of it's overlapped onto the field, and it looks like it needs to be on create fields to get rid of it. So we'll do that. Alright, Klaus, no worries. I gave him a couple of hours. I was going to go on about when he went on, but anyway. C'est la vie. Hey Kiwi, welcome along. No worries. I was in Farmer Jay's earlier. That's better. This bit wasn't ploughed, look. I don't think I need to go around the outside edge as I did that on Create Fields. This bit here, the whole way around the field really, just to get this bit. Okay. You're moving across the road in a minute. Got you out of the way, which means putting you amongst some trees. And let's have a look. Do we have any points? We have a point there. We'll just use this point for the stone pickers. Might not be the most efficient, but 155, we'll use that for now. I'm not going to be making auto drive stuff until harvest time and stuff like that. I still haven't worked out basically quite how I'm going to do it, whether I'm going to go one-way system or what have you. So I'm probably going to put a road across here. That's why I've left it quite wide. I might even make it a bit wider, that north-south. So until I've decided those sort of things, I'm trying not to put any new auto drive points. Now I have painted grass down here, it's weird, it's not showing. It sort of disappeared actually. Right, well when they get to 155 we'll deal with them, these guys. Let's clear them of any courses they've got. And we'll just make temporary course. I'm not going to Actually, I probably should make a proper course, but until I know where the start points are going to be, we'll leave them temporary for now. So we're going to start you guys somewhere around here, I think. Two tools, 3 headlands, which equals 6. That's fine. Start work. Let's have you start in the middle. Or not. Why did I have you starting on the headland before? Interesting. If you're going to start on the headland, oh, I'll just start you in the middle. Bugger it. I've got a feeling I got them starting on the headland because they're less likely to collide. So I should probably do that. So I'm going to clear this and move it to here. And have it starting on the headland. Do I want it there? No, I'm going to move it to somewhere where it won't be interfering with the end. So let's say here. Right, let's generate that course again, see what it looks like. Fieldwork settings, start on the headland. Clockwise, that's all good, go. That's better. Okay, you're on the left. You're good. Let's back you up. Let's copy this course. Go to your mate. And we'll paste the course. Put you on the right. He's on the left. Turn that on. Hit play. We'll back him up a bit. Hit play. Right, he's good. Now we'll hop into his mate. We'll turn that on. And we'll set him off as well. should be alright from here, hopefully. Lovely. Right, the fertiliser spreader we'll get out of the way as soon as he's finished. And we'll think about the lime spreader in a bit. So, right, he's finished. We'll send him back to get some more. And let's hop into these stone pickers, just make sure that they're good. So the next piece of land we are chopping and changing is here, south of the road. I bought the fields. Basically we're just going to extend this one down here like that and make that into one there and one there. Try not to demolish all this grass, we might need it. But having said that, we got grass here, grass here, grass here, grass here, grass here and grass here, so maybe we don't need it. Yeah, I think we can demolish the grass if we need to. So first thing to do is go in construction mode, make these roads wider. And down here. Then we get in the T-Rex, remove any trees that are in the way, which they're bound to be. And then finally we get into tractor with a plough on create fields and join them together. And then the stone pickers can come over, the lime can come over. We'll be setting lime off on here shortly. Anyway, let's keep an eye on these for a moment. I just want to make sure they can exit the field. I think I put them on exit the field from the from behind the start, which is what I want. Just check they're both on that. As I haven't made a route around the field, it's easier to send them to go on and off the field where they came on. It's probably not the most efficient, and with two there's always the risk they might collide because they're heading for the same point. but they've got different amounts of stone in them, so they should be staggered as to when they go. So I'm hoping that they'll do this whole field without any interference. I'm hoping. And then we get back to real farming after that other field's done. We got produce to sell in January, loads of it. We've got productions that all need topping up because I've neglected them while I've been on this mission to extend the fields and get them to sort of how I want them. And the other thing is, I was thinking about another cow pen. I'm also thinking about, well, I need a sawmill production. I forgot to download the roller coaster, so we won't be looking at that today, but we will be looking at it throughout the winter, where to place it. And it comes with the required mods that you need to build it. So I think there's a, maybe is it a steel mill or something? Anyway, it comes with all that, so that will need placing. And the other thing I want to do is buy, which we could do right now actually, buy the 5th potato harvester. What I'm going to do is, there's a vehicle at the shop I want to get out of the way first. I thought I'd better get another one of these plants of all these big fields we're making. So I'll send this back to the farm. I think it's the most unrealistic thing I've got, is this plan. Everything else I would say is pretty realistic. John Brock, welcome along, sir. How are you? You're at the gym and you're laughing. Man, you are a better man than I am. If I was at the gym, I certainly wouldn't be laughing. Right, send him back to the farm. Always a pleasure, sir. And now, let's get these potato harvesters reset. They are these ones. One. 2. 3. 4. We're now going to the shop, buy the 5th one, and they'll all be together when I'm tabbing vehicles. Yeah, that's cool, we'll buy that. Right, now we've got 5 of the puppies. We can send them back to the farm whenever. Right, he's going back home. Let's hop into his mate. Actually, his mate's not doing anything. Let's hop into the stone pickers. Right, 48%. This guy's nearly full. 38, he's not. They're basically full at 56% as I play with realistic weights, so that's as much weight as they can carry. Slightly disappointing the amount of stones off this field though. We've gone round like twice and we're only emptying the first time. Oh, did it? I've had it crash. I haven't had it crash, John. Not once. But what has happened is I've had corrupted saves twice. And I think that happens when you quit straight to desktop. So I don't do that anymore. One time I think it crashed, I was just so tired, I think I just turned the computer off and it corrupted the save game. Luckily I had backup saves, so I only lost about half an hour each time. But no, I don't think I've had it crash. Might be wrong, it might have crashed, but not that I remember. So hopefully this guy, he's about to be full. Hopefully he'll be able to get off the field without any assistance. Yeah, he's gone straight for it. He's not even stopped, which is a good sign. I did not expect that. Didn't expect him to just cruise straight towards the farm. I'm not complaining though. Wow. Where did that come from? Certainly not in this. Certainly didn't expect that at all. Oh, unless there's an old route still in the middle of that field, it is quite possible. Anyway, this guy hopefully will do the same thing then. 52%, he'll be full at 56. It is quite good they're staggered and not trying to get on and off the field at the same time. Okay. Can he get off the field? He's going for it. He's going the opposite direction that the other one did. Let's hop back into the other one. Right, he's heading back. Hey, Andrew. Welcome. How you doing, Andrew? Excellent. Glad to hear it, mate. Glad to hear it. You watched the Grand Prix qualifying? That Max Verstappen's better than the rest, really, isn't he? Whether you like him or not. I don't think... I think he's as good as Hamilton now. As good as Hamilton was at Hamilton's peak. Oh, it's pretty good. I think it makes for a good race tomorrow. Anyway. Norris cracked under pressure. Tried too hard. No surprise there, though. The way things have been going for him lately. Anyway, after this field, there's just 2 more fields I'm making, and then we're back to pretty much normal farming again. I've got some productions in mind, but I forgot to download the roller coaster. He only did what Schumacher would have done, and to be honest, if you look back over that season, he had more bad luck than Hamilton. For example, he was winning by miles in Baku and just got a blowout for no reason on the main straight. You know, the title was deservedly his anyway, regardless of the last race crap that went on, which wasn't his fault. Right, and they're off again. Yeah, again, all he was doing was what he could get away with. It's up to the stewards and stuff to change the rules. To be honest, Schumacher would have been worse in the same situation if you look back at the stuff that Schumacher pulled. But And I don't think Hamilton was a complete angel anyway. Well, you say he did play dirty, but again, it's up to the rule makers. The stakes are so high, the ruthless drivers are going to do whatever they can, and if they're not punished, they're going to do it again. For example, I liken it to the banking crisis in 2007, and everyone blamed the banks. The banks did nothing wrong. They were operating within the rules that the government set. It was the government's fault, not the bank's fault. And it's the same with Formula One. It's not the driver's fault. It's the stewards and the rule makers' fault. But yeah, a bit like McLaren now. For example, in the last race, Norris opened his DRS in a non-DRS zone. Didn't even get a mention. Russell opened his DRS in a DRS zone when he shouldn't, gave the time back, and yet it still went to the stewards. I think Zak Brown's ruining McLaren personally. He's made it into like he's making it woke. There's no place for wokeness in Formula One. They should bring back the pit girls and stuff like that, like cheerleaders in the States. I love McLaren, but I don't like Zak Brown personally. Also, the races aren't long enough. The races need to be a third longer. That way the tyres will become more of a thing. If you look at IndyCar, the offset strategies you get in IndyCar, it's because the races are longer. Nah, I mean, yeah, it would be nice, Andrew, but it'd be going backwards to do that. They should allow front axle regen for electricity, though. Silly giving that up just because they're scared of Audi, the other teams, that Audi would know how to do it better, so they banned it before it even got a foot in the door. And now they're going to suffer for it because they can't generate enough electricity. Hey Jays, welcome along. Just continuing the field adjustments. Got one more to do across the road there, and then we're back to normal farming. Just watching the stone pickers. So far so good. No interventions. Nice and easy. All right, Andrew. Nice chatting. Okay, the headlands are over. We're into up and down mode. The question is, are we going to collide with the other one? Yeah, no, they're pretty clever. It's all about efficiency, isn't it, Jace? Should be a good race tomorrow. Got the slower car in front of the faster one. Not the best timing, guys. Go on, keep going, keep going. Oh, it might work. Just about got away with that. Nicely done. Love it when a plan comes together. As J.K. Rowling would say. Well, they could rev 50% higher, Jace. They can be driven. They're designed to last the season in the amount of power units. So, but the FAA regulate the maximum revs allowed. They could actually rev a lot higher, like half again. The technology's there. But the FAA set a rev limit for cost reasons. Right, is he going to collide or is he going to get off the field? Looks like this is all working out quite nicely. Lovely. Right, that's enough spectating. Let's hop into construction mode and have a look at what we are doing here. So the first thing I want to do is enlarge this path. Might try and save this line of trees. This line. And I might No, the rest of the trees can go. But I do want to enlarge this path slightly. So we'll do that straight away. By about that will be alright. Yeah, that's why they reduced the res for cost. So they don't have to use the most expensive materials. Ah, John, that's a shame. Oh, actually, I'm going to demolish that anyway. That was silly. Maybe I'm not. Oh shit. Right, that will do for now. Let's get back to the stone picker. Still going strong. Hey Crofter, good evening. Nice to see you back. How you doing? Yeah, I bet that is. That sounds fast, Jace. I used to have 205 GTIs myself. I went through about 7 of them when I was younger. Nothing could beat me round a roundabout in those things. I hope you're well, Crofter. The 205 was more reliable than any Ford, I'll tell you that for nothing. Best handling hatch ever made. Unfortunately, the most stolen hatch as well. People used to steal them and then crash them. The owners very rarely crash them. And they didn't rust either. Well, once the rear windows leaked, you used to get a bit of rust in the rear floor pan, but that was due to the window leaking. Bodywork never rusted. Yeah, I miss my 205s. Love them. Sounds good. My granddad had 4 dealerships in Surrey. Right, we better hop into the T-Rex. I'm getting I'm getting lazy. Oh, I need to paint some grass down, but it doesn't seem to be showing up for some reason at the moment. Yeah, and it collects the wood chips as well, this one. Yeah, I know, Jace. I'd like to, in some ways, quite like to turn off the, or at least adjust the amount of wood chips, but to be honest, I make so much money now that it's not going to change the gameplay, so I'm just going with it. I spent 2 million on fields earlier, and I bought a potato harvester. Basically, I'm making about 2 million a day from the biogas plant, so I can't really spend it anymore, so it really doesn't matter that it makes a bit. I wouldn't use it early game, I think it would make it too easy, but now it's not going to make any difference. The farm just prints money anyway. I mean, I could end up buying the whole map, which I've never done. Well, I've never played a 4x map before, so I think I bought the whole map on No Man's Land a couple of times. But I probably should have left these. Oh well. I might as well bring the field all the way down. I was tempted to make this hard standing or something, this triangular bit. But I think I'll just bring the field all the way down. Okay, John. Whoa. They were. I preferred the 205. I mean, same car though, same chassis, so there was nothing in it. I just preferred the look of the 205, but basically they were the same car. I think the 205 was actually slightly lighter. The MI16 engine wasn't as reliable as the standard, but it did. You could get more power, yeah, definitely. The Ford XR 4x4 was a great tool. A bit like the 205 in that an engine based around torque rather than horsepower. You could sort of pull away in third gear if you wanted to. like the 1.9205. Right, we get the lime set up on here as it's nearly done, this field. Then we go back to what I was doing, which looks really messy, but there is a method to my madness. I'm not very accurate at painting, so before I make the field I just paint the grass, and if it goes in the field I just plough it. Unfortunately you have to have it on create field to get rid of that, but we're creating fields anyway, so no problemo. I have to be more careful around here where I haven't put grass, because these fields are done. Hey Psycho Kid, welcome along. How you doing? Not bad, thanks, Psycho Kid. I hope you're well. Not myself, no. I only played FS22 a little bit. I got the hump with my game crashing all the time, and gave up farming sim for a couple of years actually, and streaming. I don't think my subs are quite back to where they were before I stopped, actually. Ah, he's finished. Let's get him out of the way. So I have planted grass here with the paint tool, but it's just not showing. I'm hoping because it's just because it's winter time. It is a bit open now without the trees, but what is nice is you can see the farm from here and all the cows. Or I might fertilise it first. As it's sort of 3/4 done, and then set the lime out, then it'll be a nice white field. If I do the fertiliser second, it won't be. Hey Foghorn, good evening, how you doing? Oh, in what way? And did you get the answer? Was it transition from headlands to up and down, or? Is that a route they've done before? Or is it the first time you've had them on that route? Oh, so they missed a bit. Sometimes it's a lag issue. If they get a bit of lag when they're in a turn, they can jump forward. Yeah, sometimes it's a lag issue. It's not actually Coursplay's fault. So they get a bit of lag. They jump forward. And the other thing that can happen is if you've got other stuff going on, when Courseplay's activated, it does put a lot of stress on your system, and sometimes that induces lag if it's not like multiplayer lag. To test, if you're doing a test, best thing to do is to literally just run that one field and not have too much other stuff going on. Not with Courseplay anyway. Oh, well, I'm sure it will work fine, Foghorn. To be honest, you could probably just run a tractor and a trailer or something. Tell them to do the same route. Doesn't need to be a combine even. Like just run 3 tractors and forage wagons, even if there's nothing on the field. When it becomes perfect, then it will be the end of its cycle and they'll release another one. It's a bit like Formula 1. Well, I'll be interested to see if you discover anything. We're all OCD who play this game in our own ways. I'm looking forward to setting up multiple slurry tankers on this field. I just don't have the digestator at the moment. I sold it all by accident. But it's coming back. While he's doing that, we'll at least set the lime up. just wait for the fertiliser to finish, then we'll set him off. Alright, he's going to do probably one circuit all the way around the edge. Something doesn't look right down here. No fertiliser on this bit. Why is that then? Oh well, it feels big enough we can afford to lose a little bit. What is it doing? So those of you that are watching and haven't subscribed, please give it some serious consideration and hit the old subscribe button. Desperately try, well, don't know about desperately, but it would be nice to hit 700 subs pretty soon. This is on a Giants work and not course play, hence the faffing around it's doing. I probably should have put it on a course play course, but anyway, looks like it's sorted now. It's going to do the headland and that's it. Yeah, it looks that way. and it's free. Yeah, the fertilizer's not free, but I have 2 productions making it out of poo. So yeah, I suppose it is free. Cost me a bit of straw, I suppose. Pretty much free. In fact, I think since year 1 I haven't bought any fertiliser or lime. In fact, I don't think I've bought any lime at all. The whole history of this farm. That might change today. We might run out of lime for the first time with all this field creation that's been going on. Our lime supply is getting dangerously low. But we'll use it all up. I'm happy to buy it. I mean, I basically bought a big bud just to park it on the farm. So a bit of lime's not going to hurt. Actually, talking of vehicles, I bought some vehicles. They're at the shop. Well, one is they're all at the shop, but one of them's brand new. I need to get back to the farm, so we can organise that. So now we've got 5 of these. Hopefully the potato harvest will go better. Last time with 4, it's a field width thing. Hoping that 5, I mean I haven't done the math, but I'm hoping that 5 will transition better from headlands. Well, I'm hoping that 5 of these, the width of these, will be divisible into the field's width better. Yeah, these guys are heading home. I could have just changed the tyres or something on the farm. That would have had the same effect as resetting them, but what the hell, they're quite happy to have a little drive in the country. Better make some space for the extra one. have to get a couple more of these at some point. Here comes the first one. Look, there they are. Get this chap off the field. If I send him up here, he's possibly going to catch up and get involved with those potato harvesters, which might be fun. Anyway. Yeah, he's going to overtake that one probably. He's going the opposite way that I thought he would. Did he put foot down at this corner anyway? No furt along there, look. Maybe, as he's faffing around, maybe we'll just do that manually quickly. That edge and that corner. Oh, I don't do stuff like that, Foghorn. But it's, I mean, it's not new. It's the one from FS17. One in FS17 had a PTO on it. Or it certainly had a hitch on it. But no, it's not. I'm not into towing stuff with mowers or combines. Just don't do it. Never have. I'd rather employ more workers. In the same way I play with realistic weight on. I'd rather have more tractors and trailers than carry an unrealistic load. Yeah, I know, Foghorn. I have done it in the past, like in FS19 or something, but it's not really my style. I know it's feasible and possible. I know it's possible to tow a baler behind a combine, but I don't do that either. Right, that should hopefully be that corner sorted out. We can send this guy home and he'll now be behind the potato harvesters, so that's good. Potato harvesters have made it. Right, we'll set the lime off first, then we'll put potato harvesters away. So you make sure that's lit up. First waypoint. Right, off you go. He's sorted. let's put these harvesters away. Yeah, I prefer to run a tenner after the mowing's done. But I get why people do it. In fact, I keep meaning to download the realistic weather mod. In which case, if the sun's out, your grass becomes hay on its own, like in the old seasons. Last time I downloaded it, the moisture levels didn't work very well, but I believe it's had an update since. I think Kiwi Sim uses it. I should ask him. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to start building some more sheds again. Fantastic. Right, let's check on the lime. Just make sure he goes and fills up when he's empty. Then we'll get back to creating those fields. Yeah, and it doesn't require much horsepower. Yeah, no, I get it, Foghorn. I've done it before. The only time I run a baler is I use a powerful tractor with a mower on the front and just have the fast baler behind, and it takes ages because it's only 3 meters wide, but you do end up with a field full of silage bales. That's the only time I've done that sort of thing. Well, I'm 2 hours in, my coffee's run out, so I think I'm going to make myself a coffee. I'll leave you with this guy, get you a little bit closer in case he has to go and fill up, so you're not like hidden in trees and stuff. I purposely, on this map, Foghorn, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've purposely not used a baler because I like the traffic of having 6 forage wagons running. In fact, I might even make it 8. Now I've got more grass fields and more fields that are going to produce straw. But anyway, I like the traffic, so I opted not to run a baler on this map. So far, anyway. The farm is getting to the size, though, where I might not be able to maintain that. It might just be too big. I'll have to see how this summer goes. Yeah, me too. Right, I'm going to make a coffee. I'll be right back. So yeah, I thought while I was making the coffee, I thought I'd just check the subs, and they've gone down 2. And I don't think that's people unsubscribing, to be honest. That was a joke. I think what happens is I gained a few yesterday, and a couple of them were probably bots, and YouTube removes them. It's pretty standard. Just about to go and fill up. We'll watch this once just to make sure. Oh, he's going to need to get fuel as well at some point, and we'll watch it once just to make sure, then we'll adjust that other field I was working on. Welcome back, John. Alright. Let's just say he's going to do it. I'm bored of watching that. Did I? straight, because we're going to be going straight. If it doesn't work this time, I will I'll paint it back. Right, that's good. Oh, I've done it again. I'm going to have to go back with the old paintbrush. Going to be a beast, this one. And it's probably going to be green beans on this field. At least once anyway. Might live to regret it, but I'll give it a go. I've got 5 harvesters, so let's try and utilise them. Oh, it's gone out again. It's gone out twice. Going on. Never lands. I find lands just a pain. I mean, if you've got a field that's completely square, then maybe lands might be okay. But I find lands a pain, so I don't do lands, and I don't switch lanes. I find switching lanes is a pain as well. So I tend, with harvesters at the moment, I'm just skipping one lane and it seems to work fine. So they work their way across, then they work their way back again. I am going to be experimenting though with skipping no lanes at all. It has to be said. I think possibly get away with not skipping any lanes at all. I think it would work okay. Alright, at the moment I'm running skipping one lane. I'm not switching lanes, and I'm skipping one row. And I never use lands. I've tried it, admittedly I tried it with beet harvesters, but it was an absolute disaster. I find lands just cause problems. 3 combines. 3 combines. No skipping lanes. Oh, sorry, start again. 3 combines. No switching lanes. But skipping one row. 1 headland. I think that's all the settings. And definitely no lands. I find lands just a pain. Yeah, ups and downs, definitely. None of this land stuff. I find lands, so far anyway, have not worked for me at all. It's not been pretty. Just ups and downs, and skip one row with combines. With other things you have to skip more. But with combines, skipping one row is fine. You could probably even get away with skipping 0 rows, but I'm yet to have experimenting with that properly. So I'd stick with 1, skipping 1 row. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll work with combines. It won't work with other harvesters though, or unlikely to. But yeah, I figured the same. I figured it would work. The only no, it's nothing to do with turning radius. It's when you're running multiples, because obviously, if you only skip one lane, you're only leaving 3 meters. But generally, their pipes stick out more than 3 meters, so you need to skip more lanes. The thing is, whereas with a combine they can pretty much pass each other without being in trouble, but with root crop harvesters and other harvesters, their pipes stick out almost a whole lane width, if not more. It's just to do with them avoiding, and the more harvesters you run, the less lanes you have to skip, because obviously if you skip one lane and you got 3, it's 3 lanes. But you probably got that already. I use 1 lane skip at the moment with combines, but as you've just confirmed what I thought, I think I can get away with 0 lanes. With my ropers, depending on how many I got, I use it. I'll have to have a look in my roper menu. I'll show you in a minute. Anyway, they work fine. The ropers are quite good. They can pass fairly close, actually. But I would still leave a 2-lane gap with ropers. With other things like spinach harvesters and stuff, I think you need three rows to be sure. And I never use switching lanes for the same reason. That way you end up with two pointing at each other sometimes. I know it means the first harvester can be a pain unloading with its pipe and backing up and stuff, but it's worth it. But I'll show you a roper course in a second. I think it will. I think it will show it. The potato harvesters, I have to leave much more room than I do the ropers. The ropers are pretty good. Oh no, it's not going to work. I'll have to be in a roper. It won't work in this. But basically, Foghorn, it's skipping the least number of lanes you can get away with, really. So if you're getting away with 0 skipping with the combines, that's brilliant. So if you have two ropers going towards each other with their pipes sticking out at each other, as you can imagine, a 4-metre gap's not going to be enough. And the potato harvesters are even worse. Yeah, the meters in between won't matter on a big field. It does help on the headlands though, having a bit of a distance in between. Once they're up and down, it's fine to let them close back up again. When I'm running 5, I quite often, when I'm running like 5 root harvesters or spinach harvesters, I quite often sit in the second one and just slow the cruise control right down until the first one's done what it's got to do, and so on, because all the rest just back up behind. It's fine, they don't run into each other, they stop at the distance you set. The starting position can be quite important, actually. Starting on a corner is not always the best. I'm starting to realise. Yeah, I'm not convinced by starting on corners helps the transition to headlands. Try starting on the long edge of the field, pointing close to the corner, but not so close that when they finish their headlands it's overlapped the corner, if you know what I mean. I've been starting on the corners and I'm now thinking I'm going to try, well, I'll show you what I mean. So take a rectangle field like this, you start on a corner. They always do a weird wiggle at the end of their headlands, so I don't know if you can see my mouse, but if they're going clockwise, if you start about here going that way, when they finish their headlands, he should just cruise to there and do a loop and start that way straight away without that funny thing they do because you started on a corner. That's my theory. I've only put it into practice with 2 stone pickers so far, and it definitely worked. It definitely looks smoother, but that was only 2 stone pickers, so when I get to harvest season I will experiment further. So if you can start on the edge of a field, pointing to a corner, but just far enough back that you're not overlapping the headlands, I think's the best. That's my new thought anyway. My new theory. Which I'll be putting into practice as soon as I get into the spring and summer. Right, I've now made this into one field. I can set this off on a worker and he will plough it. But what I'm going to do is, what I mean is I can set this off on a courseplay worker without create fields on now, so I don't have to worry if it throws a wobbly. I can do other things. But before I do that, just to be sure, where I painted grass and stuff and I was a bit messy, what I'm going to do is go steering assist, 2 headlands. Now the first headland's already done, so I'm just going to do the second one with it still on create fields, and then I will turn off create fields and let courseplay do it. It will duplicate what I've done, but it won't be on create fields, so when it goes around the edge it won't change anything. Slightly long-winded, but this a field is for life, not just for Christmas, put it like that. So we're going to do one circuit on this second headland. It's on create field because where I've painted some grass, even though you can't see it, I don't know what's going on, you can see it over there on the other fields where it's yellow, for example, opposite. That needs to be on create fields to get rid of it. So just to be sure, I'm going round once before I put it on a worker. Anyway, Foghorn, we're definitely on the same wavelength and we've got the same goal, so keep us informed with any courseplay discoveries and what have you. And also, did you update your courseplay? I haven't. Maybe with you updating it, maybe that's why your combines behave differently. Well, don't forget, I'm a console player at heart. I've only had the PC and this game for like 3 months, so everything is derived from console. If you look back at my videos, my how-to videos, you'll see what I mean, like how to create fields on a worker back in FS19, or how to harvest sugarcane on a worker back in FS19. I think I got 11,500 views on that one. This tractor was brand new 2 months ago. It's got 28 hours on it already. Now obviously this is a bit of a wait. I don't need to do this line, but I might as well just go round the whole field once. Alright, I just forget. I'm normally a couple of updates behind. The thing is, it all seems to run fine for me, course play and that, so I don't see a reason to update. I normally have, in fact Jay's normally comes in and reminds me. Apparently I'm behind on auto drive as well. Yeah, same here. I even play realistic weights on my trailers, which is why I have to use potato harvesters, because the roper on realistic weight doesn't like potatoes on course play. You can't fill it up to 95%. So Foghorn, would you say that your combines might have gone wrong because you updated, or do you not think it's related? That's really what I'm getting at. Yeah, it's to do with lag, which is caused by what else you've got going on. Like if you're running, well, the biggest culprits are forage harvesters. If you're running forage wagons on the same field as combines, you get that momentary pause where the forage wagon switches from auto drive to course play, and at that point, if the combine's halfway through a turn, it can jump and end up on the wrong line. Doesn't happen very often. Like all these things, it's finding out why it's happening is more important in many ways than stopping it. Especially if you've got OCD in that way, which I do. The important thing is to find out why stuff happens. Yeah, that can happen. Well, I've got about 300 at the moment, I think. Okay, this guy we're going to now put in course play. And I'm not really fussed where he starts or finishes because he's on his own. So I am just going to clear the current course. Two headlands, start up and down. He's good. Regenerate that. But before I set him off, we're going to turn off create fields, and off you go. No idea where he's going, but anyway, that looks good to me. We'll come back to this guy in a bit. Right, how's the lime getting on? More importantly, oh, good timing, it's nearly finished. Go round the field though, he's going to need to top up. Hopefully we got enough. Let's check. Oh, we've only got 22, we really are out of line. This thing holds 18,000 and we got 22,000. Still, should be enough to finish this field. Just. But the next field we're going to have to start buying it. I mean, I think lands could be useful for corn, but it'll be a lot of work. You'll because you have to work out how many you want in order to make it work, and that depends on the width of your header, the width of the field and other things, so it's just easier not to use them. If you're just running one combine, lands is actually quite cool. Be a lot of green beans if I plant green beans on here. Yeah, it can be like that. unless I put green beans opposite, which is narrower. Then plant sunflower on this or something. I'd have to get more combines. But there again, 3 combines does actually harvest a big field, like really fast. I'm so pleased I decided to do this map though. I've enjoyed every minute of this playthrough on this map. The only thing I would say this map is lacking, and it really doesn't bother me, is maybe a town with a town maybe, but honestly it runs flawlessly. It's 4 times, quite interesting field shapes. I might change my tune a bit when my cows start starving and there's nowhere to buy straw or hay or TMR, but that will be my fault due to lack of planning. That's not the map's fault. If that happens, I will not be buying the straw and stuff. I will just not get any milk or manure or slurry until next spring. I think we're just going to get through the winter. It's really tight. Which is why I haven't placed the next cow pen. I just don't have the resources at the moment. We got a truck automatically filling up with fuel. Let's show that off to Loghorn. Oh, he's crashed again. What is going on with this truck? Why does he do that? Not very happy about this. It's because I think it's because I've got collisions turned off, because the big bud, even when you take the dual tyres off, thinks it's got dual tyres, so I turn collisions off. But I'm going to turn collision detection back on, and I'll just remember to turn it off whenever I'm using the big bud. Now this vehicle won't do that, because it will detect that corner and avoid it. But that's basically what's happened there. It's hooked up on the corner and decided to run out of fuel. So what I'm going to do now is just tell it to go to the biogas plant and deliver this slurry. As you can see, it needs fuel. Now I'm not telling it to get fuel, it is going to do that automatically. I haven't told it to get fuel, but it's going to the fuel station. So basically it's probably been hooked up on that corner for the last 2 hours with the engine running, and that's why it's run out of fuel. In fact, we can easily check that by seeing if there's any slurry at the biogas plant. I had a corrupted game save foghorn, and I went on YouTube and found someone that was explaining how to use a backup save from FS22. Anyway, I followed the instructions, found my backup saves that I didn't even know I had. I've never turned it on, I think they're automatic. And I only lost about 2 hours. Okay, what are we looking at? Biogas plant. Yeah, it's definitely been sitting there all day. That's why it's out of fuel. We're going to sit with this, make sure it can come back and fill up. Oh, it's done it again, look. What is wrong with it? What is wrong with it? Why is it not behaving like it used to? Well, there's no reason for these to all be right next to the fence anyway. No, I don't do anything, Foghorn. I didn't even know I had them. The computer just did it on its own. I don't know if it's a Steam thing or what. If I go into my farming simulator file, somewhere in there there's 10 backup saves for every save. It does it on its own. I've never touched it apart from to retrieve them. Right, we're just going to sit with this one. It's going to go to the biogas plant, unload and come back. And then we're just going to make sure. The trouble is I've changed some settings with regards to collision detection. This used to run flawlessly, so it could be to do with that. Just Foghorn, just put into YouTube how to retrieve backup save Farming Simulator 25 and it will come up. It's a short video. I didn't even know it existed. I thought I'd lost everything. Right, he's going to grab a bit of fuel, get a fuel here. Yeah, he's filling up. Right, now he should go to the biogas plant. He's full of slurry. Oh, what, you had a look on YouTube? I mean, honestly, Falcon, I never did anything. But that's my point. It was just there. And apparently, there's 10 backup saves for each save game. Check out the cows. Loads and loads of cows, look. Thousands of them. Soon to be more. Right, we're not far from the bar gas. See the truck. It's obviously full of manure. I own the field next door to here that I'm quite happy to concrete over. Might put the sawmill here that I've got in mind. Anyway, we'll watch it unload from aerial view. Right, he's unloading. Blimey, it's going to have to repair itself as well. It's not healthy running into a lamppost and staying with your engine on. Right, he's off again. We'll hop back in. So that field there, I'll do nothing with. I'm thinking of putting the sawmills on there. I can see my cows, we can't be far away. Want to see what's going on, so right, it's filling up. I see what the potential problem could be, that node there. Can he get out of here without running into that lamp post there? Fair enough. Might be upsetting the milk. I'm trying to use one route to do the milk and the slurry. In other ones of these barns, I've not done that. Right. Now he wants to repair. Blimey.